it's not a matter of spirituality and physicality. This is really your physicality is spirituality, is
Right.
what you're saying.
Exactly.
Right.
And in Tanya, the Alter Rebbe explains that the souls come into the body through different levels. There's nefesh, ruach, neshama, which is nefesh is the biological soul. It's in the ability for your heart to pump and your wounds to heal and for your blood to clean in the liver, all of the biological functions. And then ruach is really the seat of the emotions, and neshama is the seat of the mind. And so really, the animal soul is invested in every single cell in our bodies. And the Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, this is our identity. We identify as our animal souls, and they are really what we consider to be our personalities. Now, our animal soul really is the bottom line of what our animal soul is experiencing underneath the surface is a sense of separateness from God, and this is really the source of all of our psychological pain. The animal soul, it says, comes from klipas noiga, and klipa, by definition, to translate it, is shell. And a shell really is something that protects us, but also keeps us isolated. And it's a sense of me being separate from God. Really, we learn according to Hasidus that we're all one with God. We're all united with God. But our animal soul is our lens of perception of this world as a human being, that I'm wearing like a pair of glasses that tell me I'm separate from everyone else and I'm separate from God. And so this is where the survival instinct kicks in, because really, if I am separate, then I could be alone, then I could be abandoned. And my primary survival drive is to not be abandoned, to attach, so that I can belong somewhere. A newborn baby who's abandoned is going to die. And so there's this primary, first of all, when the soul comes into the body, before it comes into the body, it's experiencing itself to be completely one with God in the most blissful state. It comes into the body, and all of a sudden it's like cold, dark, don't even know who I am, don't even know where I've come from. This sense of like, what is this? Complete forgetting of everything that it's known, but also remembering that there's something it's missing, like it's missing its existential mother. And that is the ache, or the void that everyone has at the depth of their heart. Every human being, if they peel away the layers in a therapy session, I get this all the time. When we peel away the layers of defense, there's just a void in the heart, this ache for connection, this loneliness, this existential loneliness that all humans have to face. And I can take that loneliness and turn it into my connection with God and my drive to connect to God. Or I spend my whole life trying to avoid this loneliness and spend my time trying to do everything I can to numb it, to disconnect myself from it, to keep myself so busy that I don't feel it, to do, so it drives me in the opposite direction. And then all of the things, the symptoms that come with that, all of the pain and the numbness that people feel as a result of not feeling connected and alive, because they're not in touch with their own sense of who they are, right?
That's
That,
it,
that,
it, it's fascinating because that's how your story began, with this
right.
feeling of lack of connection to
Mm-hmm.
others. So do you think that a person could have healing without spirituality, without the I mean, it seems like the Hasidic teachings is so intertwined with your healing journey. Can a
Yeah.
person have is it necessary for our healing journey to have these teachings of Hasidus and this understanding?
So I no, I think what's true is true everywhere. I have the most amazing teachers I've had, the ones who taught me about the nervous system. They were not Jewish, but
Mm,
I heard what they were saying as they were talking about the nervous system and the impulses and the reactivity and the prefrontal cortex. And I'm hearing Chabad, that's Chochmah Bin and Das, it's
mhm,
right brain, left brain, middle brain. Even the mohawk of self awareness is the middle brain. This is Das. Like, it's
mhm,
literally called the mohawk of self awareness because it goes down the center of the brain. And Chassidus tells us Das is the central column, right? And then right brain is like the creative side, and left brain is the logical side. And I was like seeing these correlations, like the whole. I was like, wow, like I know this from Hasidus, and I'm like
wow.
learning this, and I'm seeing how this works, and I'm seeing how this goes together. And then actually, when your prefrontal cortex is online, when your moach is online, then yes, it does roll over the heart, because when you're regulated, you have space between stimuli and response, and you can actually choose your responses to life, which is
Mm,
actually what the entire Hasidus teaches about, like how to have choice over your conscious thought, speech, and action. Like, that's what you can accomplish. You can't necessarily get rid of your animal soul. Your survival instinct will always be there, but what you can accomplish is to develop your prefrontal cortex function enough that you're able to choose how you show up to life. And this is what the whole of trauma therapy is about.
mm,
You're running on a trauma program, you're impulsively reacting to things, you don't have choice over your life, you're feeling anxious, and you have no way of down regulating, you have no way of choosing your responses. You're acting on this trauma response. This is what the fight flight response is. And now I'm going to teach you how to learn how to regulate your nervous system, how to bring online your prefrontal cortex, how to expand your capacity for choice through many different techniques, and then you'll be able to live as a healthy person. This is what trauma healing is in the non-Jewish
Mhm.
world, right?
Mhm.
And then I'm like learning this and like learning Hasidus, and I'm like, this is literally the
This
same
is what your
thing.
teaching's right.
It's the same
Wow.
thing.